Today, I'm taking y'all a trip with me down memory lane to my birthplace of Massena, New York. When I was a child, my favorite place to visit was the Seaway Visitor Center at the Eisenhower Locks. Queen Elizabeth visited here one time too. I wasn't there to meet her, but I can introduce you to someone who did. It's funny how people think that history is boring. But do we even know what's going on inside these pages? It's still being written and it's packed with wild stories and unexpected twists. I'm here to tell you the stories behind the history. It's complicated, messy, and oftentimes bizarre and strange. You are about to learn that this is not your average history lesson. I'm Christine Darrow, but you can call me Before the Seaway construction on the St. Lawrence River, the region was one of the most underdeveloped in the state. After the Seaway and Power project opened, the area set records in income, employment, savings, and consumer spending. So what spurred its construction? Iron ore. Iron ore was discovered in Quebec and became the driving force to build what was originally known as the Robinson Bay Lock, later renamed the Eisenhower Lock after President Dwight D. Eisenhower finished his term. As part of the Wiley-Dundreau Canal, its construction facilitated shipping iron ore from Canada to steel mills across the United States. The first blast, which began construction of the St. Lawrence Seaway, took place near Montreal, Canada, on November 17, 1954. The Seaway construction brought 22,000 workers to the area. My grandfather, Howard Ross, worked on the project, and he remarked that it was the first time he ever saw a traffic jam in Massena. By 1955, the population had nearly doubled within a matter of months. Workers and their families needed places to live, shop, and play. New housing was built by Seaway contractors and offered to engineers at reduced cost. Most workers rented rooms in private homes or local motels, boarding houses, and apartments. It seemed like any local with an attic or an extra room hung a for rent sign in the window. Workers had money and wanted to spend their hard-earned dollars in town. Once quiet streets were filled with traffic. New stores, dancing halls, and taverns packed in crowds of shift workers 24/7. Meanwhile, the Eisenhower and Bertrand Snell locks were built to bypass the long salt rapids on the St. Lawrence River, enabling ocean vessels to access the Great Lakes. The locks lift the ships, allowing them to navigate the river's elevation changes and a direct route to the Great Lakes from the Atlantic Ocean. Who better to explain this than Walter Cronkite?
Well, basically, the problem is this. To move a huge ocean-going ship from here, uphill, by water, all the way to the ports of the Great Lakes. How is it being accomplished? Well, first of all, the long climb from Montreal requires a system of locks. Locks that can literally take huge ships upstairs. Here's how they work. The ship enters the lock. The gates are closed. The water is pumped into the chamber to lift the ship up to the level of higher water upstream. When the water in the lock is raised to the upstream level, the upper gate is opened and the ship steams off.
Thanks, Walter. These locks were specifically designed to bypass the rapids, allowing large ships to avoid shallow and rocky sections of the river on their journey to the Great Lakes. This significantly reduced the shipping costs for bulk commodities. With a brief history of the events leading to the Eisenhower Lock's construction and an understanding of how it works, I visited with town historian Kelsey Charter in Massena, where we discuss the dignitaries in attendance and the center's vast collection of mementos from the Queen's visit.
We have some memorabilia from the Seaway, also the Seaway in conjunction with the Queen and other uh, politicians at the time. We have the newspaper archives, but also pictures from the ceremony. We have a bunch of uh, legal documents, maps, in brochure type tourist stuff, and a model of the Seaway that was shown to Congress.
So, did any of these foreign dignitaries or even officials from Washington stay in the Massena area?
Nixon did for one night. He came in the night before and then stayed the night. The Queen didn't stay that long.
Yeah, she was on her yacht, right?
She
stayed on the yacht.
She basically went right back on the yacht and left along with Eisenhower as he was there as well. Well, not Messina, but...
Yeah, in Montreal.
Right here we have like a timeline kind of history of it that was released. It's more like a book of quotes, I guess. This is the congressional report from the time that gave authorization to build the canal, which was really important because that was going really slow. These two here are like tourist brochure kind of, what will you do in Massena? What should you do? These are the newspapers from the day. It was frontline news. People thought it was a really important day for commerce and a lot of stuff. So it was covered very extensively. This is a National Geographic magazine. Probably the only time Massena's ever been in the National Geographic, but it kind of just goes over what happened and why it's important. And these are memorabilia from the time about Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth, though this is from when she was crowned queen, but was only spread around Massena during the Seaway.
Looking at these photos with Kelsey, it's clear to see that the Queen's visit was a truly momentous event in Massena's history. Let's hop into my time machine to meet Queen Elizabeth herself and experience the grandeur of the opening of the St. Lawrence Seaway.
Canada and the United States are celebrating a victory of another kind. This distinguished company has come together from the two great countries that border this waterway to mark the completion of a combined operation that ranks as one of the outstanding engineering accomplishments of modern times. Men have dreamed and worked for 2.5 centuries to make this river navigable, and now, at last, it is a reality. This waterway will carry ocean shipping from tidewater to the very heart of the continent, a distance of more than 2,000 miles. It will affect the lives of many generations of our people, and it is bound to exercise a profound influence on the maritime trading nations of the world.
And because we are in this beautiful part of Canada, where French is principally spoken, will you permit me a single halting sentence of my Western Prairie brand in that language? Je suis très heureux de me trouver, retrouver parmi vous au Canada où j'ai fait un si agréable séjour.
It is a magnificent monument to the enduring friendship of our two nations and to their partnership in the development of North America. That partnership is most agreeably symbolized, Mr. President, in the fact that you and I have joined together to perform this ceremony today.
in the reasonable resolution of the acute international problems of our time rests the single hope for world prosperity and happiness in peace with justice for all.
Today, various goods, including grain, manufactured goods, and other bulk materials pass through the Seaway, contributing significantly to the Great Lakes-St. Lawrence region's economic activity. In fact, if this were a country, it would be the third largest economy in the world. This region supports maritime activity of nearly 250,000 U.S. and Canadian jobs and generates tens of billions of dollars. The Seaway supports the region with over 100 local jobs and has opened the new Seaway Visitor Center to the community in 2023. Now, this is a far cry from the visitor center that I grew up with. The Seaway Visitor Center now welcomes tens of thousands of visitors each year from all 50 states and at least 20 countries. While the Visitor Center provides the opportunity to catch the lock work in action if you catch a ship passing through, it also offers a number of educational exhibits detailing the story of the Seaway and the Eisenhower Lock. Inside, you can watch a film in the theater discussing both the Visitor Center and the lock. Test your skills loading a weighted freight ship, but don't tip it over! Or try navigating a freighter into the lock in an interactive video game. Inside is where we also caught up with Dolly, who, at 92 years old, is recalling serving at Queen Elizabeth's luncheon during her trip to the area. So I am here with Dolly, who worked at the Queen's Luncheon over at the Cornwallis. And we're going to start by first talking about what was that day like for you? Did you get a phone call? Were you contacted in person? How did you get selected to serve as a waitress at the Queen's Luncheon?
Well, Edith Fritt, the hostess at the Cornwallis, sent one of my girlfriends that I used to work with, Simone, and her husband, her little boy, came over. And she says, I'm here as a messenger. Edith wants to know if you want to come and wait on the luncheon for the Queen. And I looked at my husband and I says, if George take care of the kids, I will go. I had 3 little boys at the time. And he said, go ahead, I'll babysit. So I went to wait on the luncheon. And on my record, I had to make sure that all my, I would just say, papers had to be sent to my police to be checked. Make sure I was okay to wait on that luncheon. And then it was about a month ago before the lunch. And then after that, I just went 6 o'clock one morning, like I was told to show up for, and I started out pitching in just like all the other waitresses, and done my thing and get ready for the Queen, which was late. Oh, she was late. Of course, she went to one of the rooms and had tea sent to her room because she had to prep up and, before the luncheon. And after that, when they came down, we were all prepared had the fruit cups, fruit cups on the tables and waiting for them to just walk in. And it just waited on them and everything went fine. No mishap by nobody. It was about 12 of us there, waitresses, and everything went like a clock.
So can you walk me through what it was like? What time you woke up that morning? What was running through your mind as you got ready for work that day?
Nothing. I was just I worked there before. I did it for 3 years. So, I mean, I was not as if I was doing it for the first time, you know. And I was glad just to be among all my old friends and old waitresses and a few new ones, you know.
What was running through your mind the first time you saw the Queen enter the dining room?
I thought it was quite an experience. I enjoyed that. You know, I would have been foolish not to go because just for curiosity and
Were you starstruck?
no, because I mean, all these years she was my queen, you know. So it's just like, you know, it was nothing. It's just that I was glad that I could experience this and be.
Yeah. So you weren't nervous at all?
No.
And you weren't caught staring at her?
No, not at all. You know, when you wait on tables, that's your work. You go do what you have to do, you know.
So were you given any special instructions, like any rules, any do's and don'ts?
No. All we were told, well, they told us what, of course, we knew what we had to do. I followed the leader, you know.
So was there any like instructions beforehand, like proper etiquette, like not to talk to the Queen, not to bother the dignitaries that were there?
Well, waitresses don't do that. It just, you know, you don't interfere with people's conversation or nothing, you know. You just do your work, like.
Yeah, so there was no, would you like extra salad dressing? Would you like another glass of water?
No.
There was no interactions
Nothing
like that?
at all, no.
So you were seen and not heard, or not even seen?
Waitress. You don't say nothing. You just do your work. And if you talk, if you're spoken to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, if they ask you a question, of course you'll answer, but otherwise you don't.
Do you remember what the Queen was wearing?
I know she had a little hat on her head. I don't remember what her dress looked like.
Who did she walk in with?
With the Mayor Levine, I think it was at the time in Cornwall. She walked in with the mayor.
Who sat at the royal table?
Oh, it was all the big dignitaries from the United States and Canada both.
So was Richard Nixon at her table?
Yes, he was there, of course, and his wife, President you know, it was the Vice President Nixon and his wife, Pat, and then there was Rockefeller and his wife, and I forget all the rest, the big wheels from Washington, and vice versa from Ottawa. Oh, my hands are going up and down.
That's fine. I talk with my hands all the time. Was President Eisenhower there at the luncheon?
No,
he wasn't.
He left after he signed the papers on top of the power dam, I think.
Oh, okay, that's right. So I am not the first queen that you have met. I'm sure I'm not the same.
Are you a queen?
I am Christine, the history queen.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that's the name of the show, and that's I go around doing history queen stuff, like talking to people who served at the Queen's luncheon and other such glamorous roles.
Yeah. But other than that, like I told you that I forgot to tell you before that she did go up to a room before she came. She didn't walk right in and come in the dining room. We had to wait a few.
Yeah.
Till she went and freshened up or whatever.
So what did the Queen eat?
Well, I have to tell you what the menu was.
Whatever you remember.
Well, she had, I cannot tell. All I know is she had a fruit cup.
Okay.
And she had chicken for the luncheon. I don't know what else was all on it. Because I didn't fill her plates, the chef in the kitchen.
Right.
All I did, I just rushed and pick up my dinners, put them on the trays, stack them, and run in the dining room and did my thing. Wait on the people.
So I know you had to serve a table. How many people? It was 20 people at a time you had to serve?
And, I had, a large table. I believe it was 10 or 12. And then I had another one, 18 people.
And did you have to carry out all the plates
No,
for
I had
each
to
table?
make a few trips, come on. Trays only this big around. And so I could stack a 6 easy.
Yeah.
Because plates are big enough, you know. You put 3 of them on that round tray, and then you put stackers and put 3 more, so that's 6 at a time.
Do you remember who were the people that were seated at your tables?
No, I did not know. I
Okay.
did not know.
Did you
Because-
recognize anyone besides, of course, the
I
president?
don't even remember what their faces look like. Because you don't look at the people.
Right,
you
right.
Just, okay, there's people sitting here. Same at the Village Inn. I waited on thousands of people.
What did you wear? Tell me about your uniform.
Well, I had a black uniform. And of course, I had black shoes, and I had a little white, with white trim, and I had a little white cap on my head like I do over the others.
Okay. So when you got ready that morning, I'm assuming you did your hair and makeup, and then you went to the hotel to get ready for your shift?
Yeah, I just drove by myself to Cornwall. After I get up in the morning, I just got ready to go to work.
You just treated it like a regular day?
Yeah. Because, you know, when you're used, it's not as if I was new at it.
Mhm.
You know, I've done it for years, you know.
There was no excitement or jitters or,
No,
oh my
it was
God, the
just-
queen, the queen.
No, I was glad. And then I was getting away from the kids for one day.
That is probably the most authentic interview I have ever done.
No, that's not going to be on there. No way.
If it's funny, it will.
No. But I had a 5-year-old.
Uh-huh.
Mike was born in 1954, and I went in 1959, right? So I had Michael, who was 4, Mark was 3, and Christopher was 2. I had 3 of them.
So on a scale of getting away from the kids and waiting on the queen, which made you happier, getting away from the kids or waiting at the queen's luncheon?
Oh, no, I love my kids, and I have lots of patience with my kids. No, it was
I also love my children and have lots of patience with my children.
no, but no, it was just an enjoyable day, just to be going to get back to the Village Inn, where I hadn't been there since 53 till 59. That was 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get back to work over there.
So tell me a little bit more about the Cornwallis. I've never been there myself.
It's a beautiful place. I mean, 6 stories, I think.
It's still operating as a hotel?
No, they
Oh,
tore it
okay.
down on 2nd Street, the parking lot. It's
It's a parking lot now?
yeah,
Oh.
it is. Every time I go by here, I show my daughter, my Cornwallis is gone. And I mean, Pitt Street is not even the same. in
Yeah, I can't believe it
Cornwall.
didn't get preserved, like a place that where the queen was.
No, it was like, you know, if it was not safe for, why leave a big building like that if
right,
it's not safe?
right,
It was over
okay.
100 years old, you know? It'd be over 100 years old now. You realize how old that building was?
Man, talk about
Cornwall is
memories.
old.
Yeah. Olive Dolly's reminiscing brought back some nostalgia of my own, like camping out Barnhart Island, and the time my mom took me fishing out in a raft on the St. Lawrence, and she accidentally dropped my worm in the raft, and I'm horrifically afraid of worms, so I jumped out of the raft and actually swam all the way back to shore. And, of course, making out with my high school boyfriend at Hawkins Point. Sorry, Mom. So another Massena tradition is to get your photo taken in front of the 45th parallel. That is equal distance from the North Pole to the equator. So if you're like me and you're from Massena, New York, you can say that you're literally from out in the middle of nowhere. And before I left my old stomping grounds, I had one last tradition that I needed to fulfill. So, it is Massena legend and Massena tradition that when you drive through the Eisenhower Lock's tunnel, that you honk your horn and you scream as loud as you can.
Legend has it that the vibration of the noise will cause a crack to appear in the tunnel, and when the wall cracks, it will flood all of the tunnel and all of Massena. Do you guys want to test that theory? Let's go.
Until next time, I'm your host, Christine DeHaro.
So, hold on. Good Lord, did you see that old swarm? Okay. Just